Hello everyone, it's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing fine. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, guys. Let me just respond to this tweet. Of course, thank you guys for joining me today. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash a like on the video, all that sweet stuff. We got some news for you in regards to Manchester United. Of course, we got some crazy news coming out of the airways from Manchester United as well, from various journalists, as we like to say, guys, in quotation marks, journalists, of course, guys, with the rumors, guys. Now, it does look likely that the three players that Manchester United are going to be signing for the midfield in the dream midfield partnership that Man United are searching for does involve Carlos Baleba, Adam Wharton, and Elliot Anderson. Those three players are two of those three players will likely be, hopefully, fingers crossed, all being well, Manchester United players by the start of next season. Man United are looking to rebuild this midfield, including the number 8 and the number 6 positions, which need to be revamped, of course, because Manchester United at the moment have a very, very unbalanced, uneven, and shoehorned midfield that we need to fix, of course. Now, Elliot Anderson and Adam Wharton are two similar players that Man United won't sign, both in all likelihood, because obviously they are very similar to each other. However, Carlos Baleba is a slightly different proposition with his attacking prowesses, more like a number 8 kind of thing. Elliot Anderson's more like an all-rounder. Adam Wharton is more like a number 6. So Man United will be signing, most likely, 2 of those 3 players. I mean, in an ideal world, of course, we would love to have Carlos Baleba, Elliot Anderson, and Adam Wharton. That'd be absolutely fantastic, wouldn't it? If we managed to do that, that'd be an incredible midfield, of course, guys. But I don't think Man United are going to do that. Obviously, finances and stuff like that in regards to Manchester United, guys. But it does look likely. And I look, if I was a betting man, guys, let me just say, if I was a betting man, and I used to be a betting man way back when, but if I was a betting man, I do believe Man United are going to get Carlos Baleba. I just got this feeling Man United are going to get Carlos Baleba because it just seems like the noises surrounding Carlos Baleba over the last few months, the fact that he really desperately wants to come to Man United does add to the narrative that he's going to be a Man United player by the start of next season. Hopefully, I wouldn't mind if he becomes a Man United player in January. That'd be absolutely fantastic, isn't it? Even though we can't play until the 21st of January, of course, because obviously he's at the AFCON. But you never know, guys. He might make his debut against Arsenal on the 21st of January. On the 24th of January, he might make his debut against Arsenal, of course, guys. That is an extreme possibility. You never know. But however, I don't necessarily think that Man United are going to spend a lot of money in January. I've stayed consistent with regards to that. I just don't think if we're going to sign players in January, I think it'll be a loan or it'll be someone we can afford, like a kind of stopgap kind of thing, if you know what I mean. Something along those lines. A Conor Gallagher, for example, or Ruben Neves, for example, someone of that ilk, as I said before. But those 3 players are looking like the future of Manchester United. Those 3 players, 2 of those 3 players could be the future of Man United's midfield going forward, of course, guys. And that would be absolutely fantastic if Man United managed to acquire those players, of course. Man United do need a complete overhaul. They need a rebuild. Of course they do. We have players in our squad that are surplus to requirements, so to speak. It's not good enough. And we have to move on from that. Now, but what is the major stipulation? Kobbie Mainoo. Now, Kobbie Mainoo does look likely to leave Manchester United. It doesn't look good, bruv, in regards to Kobbie Mainoo. It doesn't look like he's going to be a long-term solution for Manchester United going forward. He's obviously not favoured with Ruben Amorim, and he could be going away. He could be going abroad to Napoli. Now, if Kobbie Mainoo does go to Napoli, Man United may get a fee for him. Hopefully, Man United get a fee for him in the region of 60 million if he does go to Napoli. However, of course, as we've seen so many times over and over again, these teams like to do the loan deal with an obligation to buy. They don't like buying our players, of course, guys. It's ridiculous. They don't like buying our players. They just like loaning our players. So Man United cannot loan any players out right now. It's either cash or bust at the end of the day. And that is what it is, guys. I will be extremely sad that Kobbie Mainoo leaves the football club. However, we move on. We've moved on from great players at this football club. And I'm not going to cry about it forever. I'll be sad. I'll be disappointed. but I'm not going to cry about it forever. But this does open a door for Man United to get the Carlos Baleba, to get an Adam Wharton, to get an Anderson into this football club with players that actually, get on with Ruben Amorim maybe or fit the system. Of course, guys, absolutely. We are in a little bit of a predicament at the moment, obviously, with the AFCON coming on the 21st of December. We are in a little bit of a pickle when it comes to things because obviously we need a squad as well. We can't be selling any players or getting rid of any players right this moment in time because, guys, at the end of the day, the 21st to the 1st of January, there's no transfer window and there are games in between that period, especially during the Christmas period. There's a lot of games during that period. If Kobbie Mainoo does leave on January the 1st, or he leaves during January, of course, Man United do have to replace him. They do have to replace him. And those three players, one of those three players could be coming in January. However, I do believe that they're going to wait until the summer. The noises that I'm hearing at Man United, the summer is where they really want to do business, which is ridiculous, to be honest with you, when you think about it, because at the end of the day, I'm looking at Aston Villa. Aston Villa have just signed a player yesterday. They just signed a Brazilian player. They seem to be doing business. They're fighting for the top four, and they've already got a player through the door, guys. It does make me laugh. I do need to do business in January, in particular, if Mainoo does leave the football club, because right now, what people don't understand is that we are weaker than we were last season. We're weaker now than we were last season, and that is what it is at the end of the day, guys. Absolutely. But Elliot Anderson, Kobbie Mainoo, Elliot Anderson, Carlos Baleba, and Adam Wharton with Kobbie Mainoo, obviously the stipulation going on there, guys. So it's something to keep an eye out. And obviously, we have been speaking about these players numerous amounts of time, lots of times. We've been speaking about these players that are possibly coming into the football club and players that are possibly leaving the football club as well. Of course, guys, Man United do need to sell to buy because obviously Ineos work that way. It is sell to buy at the end of the day, guys. Absolutely. And to be honest with you, this I don't trust them. I really don't. But I hope that in the grand scheme of things, it works out for Manchester United. That is what is most important for me. The whole thing works out in Man United's favour. And you know what? We become successful again. Subject to popular belief, Man United are not doing as badly as people think. 1 defeat in 9 games. We beat Bournemouth, and then all of a sudden we're in Champions League form, guys. 1 point from 4th place. December the 11th today, we're 1 point from 4th place. I mean, goodness me, guys. At the beginning of the season, as I said, if someone said we'd be 1 point from 4th place in December, I think many of people, including the people that said we're going to finish 8th this year, I think many people would have taken that, guys. Because I do remember, guys, about what people said about at the beginning of the season in regards to where they think we'll finish this season. Those same people who said we're going to finish in 8th, saying it's not good enough at the moment. It's not good. Ruben Amorim out, even though we're 1 point from 4th. And it really does make me laugh in regards to the mentality of some of these so-called fans and stuff like that. Really, it just exposes themselves as agenda-driven people, doesn't it, guys, at the end of the day? But we are 4th place. Technically 1 point behind Crystal Palace, of course, respectively. But, guys, if we manage to beat Bournemouth on Monday, you never know where we will be. Guys, absolutely. You never know where we will be. You never know. It could happen, guys. Man United could end up in the top 4 this season. And halfway through the season, December, we will be in the top 4. And I think a lot of people, as I said again, I reiterate, would have taken that at the beginning of the season, guys. Honestly, they would have taken that at the beginning of the season. And look, I certainly would have said, I would have pondered over it. My expectations are always high at Man United. They always are high. I would have probably taken out at the beginning of the season, said, right, we're 1 point. Not even if we were 1 point behind the top 4 positions at the start of January, I would be like, yeah, that's not bad. I probably would have taken that, to be honest with you, because at the end of the day, you got yourself a fighting chance then, isn't it? Man United qualifying for the Champions League is imperative, and it is probably the most important thing right now. Qualifying for the Champions League, getting those Champions League positions, getting the money through the door, and then obviously we can build from there. And once you're in the Champions League, it's not just about the money, it's about the attraction of the football club. Many players these days, including Elliot Anderson and Adam Wharton, want to play in the Champions League. And do you blame them? It's the biggest club competition in the world, isn't it? So obviously every single player is going to want to play in the Champions League. If Man United fail again to qualify for the Champions League, obviously it does leave us going further behind, because every single time we don't qualify for the Champions League, our direct rivals are getting 100 million, and again and again. And you know, where they're just going to carry on pulling away. They may get their transfer policy wrong, but you know what? Eventually, in the grand scheme of things, they will be pulling away. And we have to stop that, and we have to stifle that whilst we still can. And this season in particular, looking at the league table, where everything is so close, only a few points from the second place to the 10th place, you know, this is a very, very big, should I say, opportunity for Man United to capitalize on it and qualify for the Champions League. And this is the lifeline that Man United need. This is our life support machine. This is qualifying for the Champions League, getting in those Champions League positions against all odds. Because let's be real, guys, it was against all odds. And then in the summer, we can look at, you know, if we haven't signed Carlos Baleba already, we could look at Baleba, we could look at Adam Wharton, and we could look at Elliot Anderson. We could look at these players and think, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you know, when now things are starting to progress, Man United are starting to get better now. And that is what we have to do, of course, guys. Absolutely. Now, some way out there news in regards to Manchester United. It was reported by Indy Kayla, who I do not take very seriously. Obviously, had that lucky break with Ornstein, which obviously I believe that's something sinister going on there. Has been speaking about Ethan Nwaneri, who plays for Arsenal, 18-year-old attacking midfielder, right midfielder, centre forward, who's been a generational for Arsenal, breaking through the Arsenal ranks into the first team, of course, this season, and has done quite well when he plays for Arsenal. Even last night, he done very well. 13 caps with England under 21s, 3 goals. What do I make of these links, guys? I think they're absolutely ridiculous. I don't see how Ethan Nwaneri at the moment, who's getting first team football, he's slowly but surely breaking into that Arsenal team, would sign for Manchester United. I don't think that will happen at the moment. I think that he would be making a mistake, even though I love Man United. I think right now he would be making a mistake because he's comfortable where he is. He's getting first team football. He's slowly becoming a very, very good player. And eventually I can foresee him becoming an international, full-time England international. He's already in England under 20. Him leaving Arsenal to come to Manchester United. I don't know whether these guys are just looking for clicks. Probably. But this kind of thing is a piece of news that has no basis. It has no substance. And I just don't see. I can see Man United being interested in Ethan Nwaneri. Don't get me wrong. I can see him then being interested in Ethan Nwaneri, right? I can see it, but there will be a lot of teams who are interested in this lad, right? There'll be a lot of teams that are interested in this lad. There'll be a lot of teams that rate this lad. But at the end of the day, we have to think about things realistically here, and we're looking at Indy Kayla. You know, who is probably paid Ornstein for that little shout out cosign. It might even be owned by Ornstein, that account, of course, as a, ridiculously, you know what I mean, at the end of the day. But what I would say is that, look, I will report the news when I hear the news. I would also have one piece of news that is way out there, like Sergio Ramos, for example. Man United linked to Sergio Ramos, of course. A 39-year-old Sergio Ramos coming to the Premier League for the first time, guys. Come on, wake up and smell the coffee. At the end of the day, it's not going to happen, guys. Absolutely not. But what I would say is that, Nwaneri is a very, very, very low probability that it will be coming to Man United. Just to let you know, just to contradict Indy Kayla, of course, guys, he's got literally nothing right over the last year or so. Literally nothing. I've got more things right than him. I called him Bremo. I called Dorgu. I called the Eric Ten Hag sacking, guys. I called Kun. Listen, guys, at the end of the day, I called Seni Lamens before anyone was talking about Seni Lamens. I don't claim myself to have knowledge, inside knowledge, but I don't claim myself to be a journalist. There's a lot of people desperate to be relevant in this circle, right? Just to get clicks and likes. Now, the Nwaneri story, Nwaneri is valued at 40 million to 55 million. He's a very, very coveted player at Arsenal. They want him. They want to keep him. And Arsenal see their future with Nwaneri. And that is a very good player. And you listen to the fans when they talk about him. They love Nwaneri. He's a great player, a very good player. And he will be a very good player for years to come, of course, guys. So, look, what I would say is that with these kind of journalists, I would take it with a pinch of salt. It's always important to take things with a pinch of salt. What is true is that Kobbie Mainoo looks likely right now, this moment as we stand, to be leaving the football club. As much as what we think about it, how we think about it, if we're sad about it, It's just not working out, mate. And at the end of the day, as much as we want it to work out for Kobbie Mainoo, whatever has happened behind the scenes, because there is things that have happened behind the scenes that many are not aware of. I'm not obliged to tell you guys, but there is things that have happened behind the scenes in regards to Kobbie Mainoo and Ruben Amorim, of course. So obviously, when the professionalism comes into question, obviously players, especially Ruben Amorim, are going to be out the door pretty quickly. I've looked at Manchester United, and we've been studying Man United, and we've been watching Man United for a very long time under Ruben Amorim now. And a lot of people out there, the narrative is that Ruben Amorim's not progressing, the team are not progressing. I don't think they're looking at the league. I don't think they're really analysing the Premier League. I don't think they're watching football. They're watching football from their own blinkered vision. And that's what I think, because we are 1 point from fourth place in December the 11th, guys. At the end of the day, we're 1 defeat in 9 games, guys. You know, we beat Bournemouth, and then you're looking at, goodness me, Champions League form, guys, absolutely. And then, you know what? We are where we want to be in the Champions League positions. Of course, ultimately, I want Man United to challenge for the championship. Of course I do. The Premier League title, it is Manchester United. It belongs to Manchester United. 13 titles I've witnessed in my life, guys. Of course, I'm going to be expecting Man United to challenge for league titles. Of course I am. I want to be expecting Man United to challenge for the Champions League. Of course I want that to happen. But at the moment, we have to take it step by step. We have to say, okay, the first thing that we do is qualify for that Champions League, get in that Champions League by hook or by crook. And then obviously you can build from there. You can bring in a certain caliber of player, and you can attract a certain caliber of player. Of course, looking at teams around us, it does seem like they're beginning to crumble. Liverpool are crumbling. Whatever's going on at Liverpool, it does remind me a little bit of Man United. Do I have any sympathy? Absolutely not. It do remind me of Manchester United, what we were going through in regards to Mohamed Salah. Obviously, it's very, very down-putting, or very, very embarrassing when your club legend, the best player to play for Liverpool in 35 years, by the way, hates your club. And that is a legend of Liverpool, by the way. Guys, absolutely. Of course, I'm joking. He doesn't hate Liverpool. He hates Arne Slot, probably. You know what I mean? But what I would say is that, yeah, look, at the moment, the way things are looking, bruv, the way things are going at the moment in regards to Man United, things are looking up in regards to Man United. Well, things are looking better than they did, guys, a year ago, isn't it? And we have to be a little bit positive, and we have to start calling things as they are and not looking at things from a petulant point of view. Little children calling football, been supporting Man United since 2008. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? We need to step away from petulant little children calling Man United, calling out Man United, talking about Man United at the end of the day. There are many Man United fans out there who do not do their research about Man United and do not understand about Man United, don't know nothing about Man United. It's very easy to sit on Twitter and sit on X, whatever it is called these days. It's very easy to sit on there and write a little chat GPT tweet, right? And respond to people with your little remarks and stuff like that. It's very difficult to come on a channel like YouTube and articulate what you're saying to people and argue your point in regards to people at the end of the day. I would urge anyone who has anything to say it to me and articulate it in a certain way. Because I'm telling you right now, when you bring in the facts, when you bring in what's going on, when you bring in the context and you bring in the culture and you look at things from an overall point of view in regards to a bird's eye point of view, looking down at every single aspect about Man United, you know what? You begin to understand where Ruben Amorim is coming from and where this football team is and where this football team were. Because I bet your bottom dollar, Man United were far, far, far worse when Ruben Amorim walked in. This was worse than you think. I said it at the time. We are a derelict building full of asbestos and diseases, and it's not going to be a quick fix. And I think even at that time, many people said that, you know what, this isn't a quick fix and we have to be patient. We have to be patient. We have to back the manager. We can't be turning the manager. And I think everyone agreed with that at the time. Unfortunately, typically, people don't have the patience. They're petulant. They're immature. That's what it is at the end of the day. And as soon as the going gets tough, we lose 1 or 2 games. Oh, he's not the guy. He's not the guy for us. Then who is at the end of the day? There's no one out there. Anyone who wants Ruben Amorim sacked right now is not looking at it based on the what's going on at the moment. They're basing it on their own narrative and their own opinions, and they don't want to be proven wrong. They already have many, many times, by the way. But the Mandem opinion, obviously the Mandem minions, of course, the Brady Bunch, they obviously have this opinion, and they are the first ones to turn against the manager every single time, like clockwork, guys. And it's very, very important that we don't fall for that old chestnut. We don't fall for that narrative, guys. It's very important that we don't fall in the trap of the Mandem opinion, because there is a Mandem minions opinion, guys. And they're all together in a little bunch on everyone on the same streams all the time, agreeing with each other like the Churchill dog. Like I said, guys, it's very important that you get, obviously, people who understand the football club. People look at things objectively. People understand where we've been, where we're going, and stuff like that, and look at the ins and outs of things and look at things objectively. I have no affiliation with Ruben Amorim. I have affiliation with Man United, because Man United have made up half of my life, guys. 3/4 of my life, should I say. Guys, if I was only bloody 8 years old when I started supporting Man United, guys, I'll tell you right now, guys, I'm halfway through my life now. And there you go. That shows you how old I was and how long I've been supporting this football club at the end of the day. That's no detriment to the new fans that have come recently, of course. At the end of the day, there are some of them that do understand what's going on. There are some of them who do call the game fairly, of course. But there are many of them, and that's why I call them the Mandem minions, who don't really understand about this football club. They don't even say R.I.P. Sir Bobby Charlton or R.I.P. Dennis Law. That shows you where they are in regards to Man United. And they didn't do that when it happened, and now they're calling for the manager to be sacked. Do you really want people who don't give a damn about our history calling manager to be sacked at Man United? Do you really think that these people have the best interest at heart in regards to this football club? Do you really think that is true? I mean, you would be lying to yourself at the end of the day, guys. Absolutely. Guys, thank you for joining me. Let me just say hello to the community. I hope you're doing well. Welcome. Hope everyone is blessed, guys. I hope everyone is blessed. Of course, good morning, Sam. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good morning, Sal. Big up, my guy. Hope you're well, brother. Good morning, Ephraim. Hope you're well, my friend. Hope you're good. Ephraim, United, we signed Baleba because we want United. Come on, my guy. Let's get Baleba. Baleba's a Man United legend, mate. Already. Come on. Let's do it, man. Absolutely. Big up, Sam. Points above Man City, how we wish to sign midfielders all these days. In Man United, Sam, if Man United were backed, if Ruben Amorim was backed in the summer with the midfielders, mate, we will be challenging for the league. I would tell that with chest. I will say that to you with chest. If Man United, if Ruben Amorim, should I say, was backed in the summer with the midfielders and the wing backs, Man United would be challenging for the league. Absolutely, man. I'll say that right now. Ephraim, Sal, is there any truth about Chelsea wanting to sign Adam Wharton? Or they said probably yes, Ephraim. Probably yes, because there will be a number of clubs that will be interested in Adam Wharton and Elliot Anderson. Of course, there will be. Of course, Real Madrid are interested in Adam Wharton, although Real Madrid's interest has eased somewhat in regards to the midfield positions, because Real Madrid are looking to see what's going to happen with, obviously, Xabi Alonso, who is under enormous pressure at Real Madrid. Of course, Real Madrid lost to Manchester City by 2-1 last night. A very good result for Manchester City, of course. And Xabi Alonso's under enormous pressure. You know, he's in a big pressure to get into that top 8 of the Champions League group, and he's under pressure. But Real Madrid are interested in Adam Wharton. There are a number of teams that are going to be interested in, and the likes of Elliot Anderson and Adam Wharton and even Carlos Baleba to an extent. Elliot Anderson and Adam Wharton and Chelsea, obviously, they're going to be linked to them. They're going to be linked to Chelsea. Man United need to get the groundwork done. We said this many, many times. Man United have the groundwork done for Carlos Baleba, which is why I believe Carlos Baleba will probably be one of the first signings to come in Man United. This is what I'm thinking, right? Carlos Baleba will be one of the first signings to sign for Man United, whether it be January or whether it be the summer. It'd be fantastic if it was January. We can get him in on 21st of January. But if he signs, if he signs in the summer, he'll still be one of the first players to sign, because the groundwork is already done on them. In regards to Elliot Anderson, Man United have spoken to the entourage of Elliot Anderson and Nottingham Forest. Of course, there will be a fee of around 65 million in the summer. However, if Man United want to sign Elliot Anderson in January, that is going to basically shoot up to about 100 million. That is what it's going to be. Because obviously they don't want to sell him in January. They're in Europe and they're fighting relegation, Nottingham Forest. So what I would say is that if I was Man United right now, I would put all my chips in the basket of Elliot Anderson, get Elliot Anderson in January, pay the money, and obviously get Carlos Baleba or Adam Wharton in the summer and do something along those lines, of course. Elliot Anderson, for me, is probably going to be one of, if not the best midfielder in the world. I'm telling you right now. I said this many, many months ago, guys, that Elliot Anderson is going to be a generational player. He is a generational player already, but he's going to be an even better player, of course. Sal, is Xabi Alonso gone? Not officially, not as far as I'm aware, mate. Big up, Roy, by the way, but he is under enormous pressure. Of course, we know that Real Madrid don't really rest on their laurels, do they? I feel a little bit sorry for Xabi Alonso. The reason I feel sorry for Xabi Alonso is because he plays a different style of football, and he was basically pressured into playing a certain type of football at Real Madrid, which didn't work. And that's what happens when you believe in your own philosophy and you change the philosophy based on a football club. You will fail, because that's not how you play. That's not how you're trained to play. That's not what you want to play. A manager needs to come in and he needs to input his own philosophy. And that's what I would say. And Xabi Alonso hasn't been allowed to do that. We all know that Xabi Alonso is a good manager. Winning the league with Leverkusen is no mean feat. Of course, when Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund are around, they managed to win the league, right? And they won't win the league again in the next few years. Let me tell you that right now. They won't. Next 10 years, maybe. You know, so what he did at Leverkusen was absolutely astonishing. But he's gone to Real Madrid, and instead of playing a 3 at the back, he's playing a 4 at the back, a 4 at the back. This is what we're talking about, Man United changing the formation and the tactics. It's not necessarily going to work, and that's what I'm talking about. If a manager has a certain philosophy, you stick back the philosophy with chest, and you make sure that, you know what, you get in the players that fit that style of play, etc. Of course. I don't know what's going on with Trent Alexander-Arnold, of course, guys, but he would have definitely suited Xabi Alonso's system in regards to the 3 at the back and 2 wing backs, which they could have done, of course. But it's not to be. I do believe that Xabi Alonso will be sacked eventually. I think that will happen. You can't be losing the games that he's losing. He's not losing every game. He's doing okay. Like, I'm not saying that he's crap and this and that, but in the Champions League, Real Madrid pride themselves on if you're not doing well in the Champions League, it does come a time when they're going to call it a day with you. And Real Madrid have no patience. They will end up sacking you, of course. Max, good morning. Bro, I don't know Baleba, but from what I've seen, current form, it seems a bit lacking. Your thoughts? Yes, I watched him against West Ham United at the weekend. I took my time out to watch that game. I done a watch along for that game, and yes, he hasn't been on form at all. I don't agree with this in regards to him down tooling. I mean, if he's down tooling by purpose, there's a lot of people saying that, oh, you know what, Carlos Baleba's down tooling by purpose. I would argue, would you really want a player that's down tooling by purpose? Because if he down tools for Brighton, he's going to down tool for you as well eventually. If Real Madrid or some team of that ilk come calling down the line, do you know what I mean? So I would like to think that it's just out of form. I would like to think that. And if he is out of form, and then, you know what, that's fine. That happens in football, but you've got to pick it up quickly if Manchester United are going to, if you want to be signed by Manchester United, of course. Now, I told many people a month ago about the end of October meeting between Manchester United and Carlos Baleba entourage, of course, and Man United came out with an agreement in regards to Carlos Baleba, that Carlos Baleba's fortune and his future depends on himself. Man United want to sign Carlos Baleba in January, of course, after the African nations. They want to sign him. However, what I would say is that depends on Carlos Baleba's performances. If Carlos Baleba's performances don't improve, a Manchester United player in January, let alone anywhere else, guys. What will happen if Carlos Baleba's performances don't pick up? Man United will reassess the situation in January and sign him. If it improves, sign him in the summer. They're not going to completely shut the door on Carlos Baleba. That's what's going to happen. And if he picks up his performances by January, now we're looking at December the 11th. I watched Carlos Baleba against West Ham United. Miraculously, I know that it was a draw. I know that, but I think he played okay. And look, you know, is it enough for Man United to splash out 60 million on Carlos Baleba? At the moment, I would argue that no. I would much rather right now, this moment in time, put that money towards Elliot Anderson for me. I would take that money and pull it towards Elliot Anderson and Adam Wharton for me for now. And then we can focus on Carlos Baleba at the end of the season in the summer. That's what I would do. Now, Carlos Baleba, I got a lot of respect for. I like the player. I've got huge admiration for him. A 21-year-old. I don't flip-flop from it. I don't really, how do I say it? Criticize young players too much. I don't like to do that. And that includes players who play for Man United currently, including Patrick Dorgan. I find it horrible that people are attacking Patrick Dorgu at every given moment. Patrick Dorgu's this, Patrick Dorgu's that, from the same man, them minions, of course. So what I do is, like, when it's a young player and I look at the young player, I think, well, you know what? He's young. He can be petulant. He might be a little bit immature and stuff like that. And I've always focused. I always track back to when I was 21. You know, or I was 20 years old. Do you know what I mean? We were different people at the end of the day, you know? And when you're looking at it, it's very easy to talk as the age that I am. I'm not going to say that, but the age that I am, to talk and be self-righteous in regards to people, in regards to the way they talk and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, we all human beings and we always have to look at things on a human level. I like Carlos Baleba. I really do hope he picks it up because I rated him last season. I was absolutely infatuated, obsessed with Carlos Baleba last season. In fact, Carlos Baleba has been the record amount of times on my thumbnails than any other player. Guys, absolutely. I've actually got a bloody booklet of Carlos Baleba thumbnails, to be honest with you guys, absolutely. It does look like Carlos Baleba, in my opinion, as I've always stayed consistent with, will be a Manchester United player eventually. I think he will be a Man United player eventually. This is my opinion, all right? I think he will. Looking at the noises surrounding things, looking at Man United's meetings with his entourage, looking at the agreements that are in place, the groundwork has already been done with Carlos Baleba. Anderson, it's not necessarily been done. We've had rumours, we've had small talks here and there. Wharton, definitely not. And also, these two players, in regards to Anderson and Wharton, will be very difficult to get away from Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest, respectively, because they are fighting for things. Crystal Palace are in Europe, right? So are Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest are fighting relegation. They need to be careful who they sell, of course, you know, because obviously it'll be harmful for them. I would, and I'll be honest, guys, I would put my money towards Elliot Anderson. That's what I would do right now. Instead of playing money for anyone else right now, the focus for me should be Elliot Anderson. Elliot Anderson should be the guy that we bring into Manchester United, because Elliot Anderson is going to be an absolute superstar. I'm telling you right now, guys. I said it months ago. I went on other streams. I said it with Chest. Elliot Anderson, people are underrating, are sleeping on Elliot Anderson. And lo and behold, we're starting to see what I was talking about back then. People were saying that, oh, Elliot Anderson, nah. He's playing for Nottingham Forest. If he was playing for a bigger club, right, this guy, I'm telling you right now, will be in contention. Guys, he has a higher ceiling than Declan Rice. We missed out on Declan Rice, right, because of money, right? And obviously, when we're looking at Declan Rice, and he reminds me of Anderson, of course, at the same time. When we're looking at Declan Rice, would any Arsenal fan come to you right now and say that they regret signing him? You know that. You know that, isn't it? And this is the same situation with Elliot Anderson. Elliot Anderson is going to be an absolutely phenomenal player. He already is, guys. And when you're looking at the games between Man United and Nottingham Forest, Man United and Crystal Palace, and Man United and Brighton this season, when you're looking at those players and you're looking at things objectively and you're looking at things in a mature way and you analyze the games, who had the best game against Man United? You would say, number one, Elliot Anderson. Elliot Anderson was the reason that Nottingham Forest didn't lose. They got a draw. Number two was Adam Wharton. He had half a game. He was poor in the first half. He had the second half. He was fantastic. And then number three is Carlos Baleba. Now, there are a number of stipulations and a number of, obviously, reasons that could be. And I'm not immature. I'm not immature. I'm an adult. I can call things as they are, and I understand context. I understand that. I understand that he's a young lad wanting to go to Man United, and it's going to be extremely difficult. But obviously, it is down to Carlos Baleba ultimately. It is down to what he does with his own self, with his career, of course. Good morning, Xavier. How you doing, my friend? We know we're building the team. It's a good idea, and when we sign one or two among these premium deals, it will be a team to watch. Absolutely, Xavier. Spot on. Absolutely. Sam, we need January signings to get top. Absolutely, Sam. I don't think we should ignore the January transfer window. Of course, there was rumours that Man United may ignore it and wait to the summer, contradicting themselves that we don't know whether in Europe or not. So we wait to the summer. You know, then the reason for not qualifying for Europe was because you didn't spend in January, you know, and we've been here before. We've seen this story before. We've seen this unfold before, haven't we, guys? We've seen it last year. That, oh, no, we're going to wait until the summer and then we're going to bring in the players that we need. Why can't we bring in Elliot Anderson in January? Why not? Why not? Why can't we do it now? So listen, guys, we bring in Elliot Anderson in January, right? We bring him in January. By next season, he would have already fitted into the team. It would have fitted into the team and he will be ready to go. You know what I mean? So, yeah, very important. Ephraim, Sal, Ineos are muppets for the Glazers, how they say January is not good to sign players. If they don't sign players, look, Aston Villa have already signed a player. They've already done business. And Aston Villa are direct rivals for the Champions League positions for us. You know, they're just beating Arsenal at the weekend, by the way. They're direct competition for us, and they're improving their squad. They already have technically a better team than us. When you look at their player for man, we have to be realistic. We have a few players, yes, that are good or better than theirs, but a majority of their team is probably better. As a balanced team, their team is probably better than Man United, and we have to be realistic and call things as they are. Of course we do. Big up, Coco, you legend. Good to see you, my guy. I hope you're doing blessed, my friend. Anderson has started following all the City players and City on his... yeah, look, at the end of the day, LB, when Man City come calling, it's going to be difficult because what we have to understand is that Elliot Anderson is not a Man United fan. That's one thing we have to put straight, number one. Right? He's probably not... I think he's a Newcastle fan, if I'm right or wrong. But anyway, what I would say is that when Man City come calling, Man City are efficient when they do business. And I would never criticize Man City in regards to the way they do business because they're very shrewd in the way they do business. They do business well. They do business calculated. And then number one, they do business quickly. Man United are resting on laurels, like the old saying goes, we're not going to run to the wrong destination. We're going to, we'd rather walk to the right destination than run to the wrong destination. That was the quote. That was not a very encouraging quote for me. It wasn't. It was a quote that represented excuses already. It was excuses already. So kicking the ball down the road, for example, that's what we were doing. And this is who we're owned by. If we miss out on Elliot Anderson, it will be a travesty because Elliot Anderson is an absolutely fantastic player. And no doubt he would improve Manchester City. Then Man United have to look at Adam Wharton and Carlos Baleba. Then we're starting to, our pool of players that are available that are going to improve the team start getting smaller and smaller. Now we can throw around we can throw away the Agumes. We can have the Yarigueras. We can have the Yorigizas. We can have all those players, right? The Kones of Roma, of course. We can have all those players and throw them at that. Are they going to actually improve the team? Yeah, and that's what we have to look at. At the moment, the highlighted players for me are Elliot Anderson, Adam Wharton, and Carlos Baleba. Those three players, right? Those three players, as I said, two of those three will go to Manchester United, in my opinion. I believe, Matt, there is going to be some news coming out of the airways in regards to Elliot Anderson. This is not a done deal by any means. You can have agreements, you can have talk, you can have this. It doesn't mean that it's over. Man United are very, very, very interested in Elliot Anderson. Now it's up to Man United to do the business. Now, head-to-head, Man United and Man City, we've got a bunch of people at our football club now, an entourage of people that get paid a lot of money to do the job, which means attracting certain players to come to Manchester United. We'll have to wait and see. Alexandra Bastoni, why do you say that, Irfan? You're just throwing names out there randomly. A strange case with Kobe, man. One day we will find out, I hope. It is, look, Coco, look, I've heard a lot of things, Coco, but I'm not gonna come on there and start saying, oh, he said this, he done this. I think we generally get the gist of things and what happened, guys. But as a young player at Man United, homegrown player at Man United, I respect him, and I wish him all the best, whatever happens. I do say that. Man United is a toxic mess, and I don't want us to we're not as toxic as Liverpool at the moment, however, I would say that, but I don't want to be adding any fuel to the fire in regards to that. I really like Kobe Mainoo. I'm not going to flip-flop from that. I'm a big admirer of his talent. I think he'd be perfect in the England team. I think he's better than Henderson, should be in the England squad, adds something different. He adds a different dimension to England as well, the way he plays, and it also adds a different dimension to Manchester United. And when I'm looking at it, I think, has he been treated unfairly in the outset from above? Yeah, he's been treated unfairly. You would say that. But then we don't know the context. It's exactly what Ruben Amorim said only a few months ago. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You only see certain bits. And that's absolutely fact. From what I've heard, it's a no-no. You can't do that. You can't say that. That's what I've heard. I've heard things in regards to the contractual situation last season. And what did I say last season in regards to the contractual situation in regards to Kobe Mainoo? I said, don't treat every single piece of news as the gospel. Maybe they're planting the seed to try and sell Kobe Mainoo in the long term. Now, that may still be true in regards to the contractual situation. But what's coming to light to me over this last couple of months is what has been said, right? Now, relationships can break down in any business. This happens in life. Relationships break down in business and you have to move on, regardless if they're a very big asset to the football club or whatever business it is. That happens in life, sadly, you know. And if we have to say goodbye to Kobbie Mainoo, I would say to Manchester United, then you better bloody get the players in then. And that is a stipulation in regards to Man United. If Kobbie Mainoo does leave, whether he goes to Newcastle United or he goes to Napoli, I would much prefer him to go to Napoli. And we get some money for him, that money better be reinvested in Elliot Anderson. Now, we had 55 million on the table for Kobbie Mainoo, right? Carlos Baleba. We have 55 million on the table for Carlos Baleba. That money's still there, right, for the midfielder. The goalkeeper, which was said in amends, was put separate, the goalkeeper money. But the money from Carlos Baleba was still there. Now, if Man United sell Mainoo for 60 million, you're looking at 115 million right there. Now, I would say get Elliot Anderson now. That's what I'll do. Get him now and don't rest on your laurels. Don't wait until the summer, because if we wait until the summer, we will lose. If we don't qualify for the Champions League, now, guys, I believe we're going to qualify for the Champions League. Before anyone says anything, I firmly believe we're going to qualify for the Champions League, guys. I really do believe that. But if we don't qualify for the Champions League, there is a very small chance we get Elliot Anderson. Elliot Anderson, you think that other teams aren't aware of this player? Of course they are. Chelsea, Liverpool, City, all aware. You would say that the rest of Europe is aware right now as well. The key is when you see Elliot Anderson playing, you saw him play for England. It's been like he's been there for 10 years. It's the maturity. It's not easy to do that, you know? Big up Roy, my guy. I hope you're well. Good to see you, mate. Big up Coco as well. Max, good morning. Even the best teams lose matches. Exactly. Everyone loses matches, guys. Everyone. I don't remember any team that don't lose matches. Teams lose matches at the end of the day. But what the Man United fan base are trying to do, this shows you how narcissistic some of them are with their big platforms, by the way, using it for the wrong reasons. They're very narcissistic and egotistical, that they felt that the only way they were going to accept to win against Wolves is Man United won 10-0, basically. That is what they were trying to say. That's the levels that they're trying to put on Ruben Amorim. The ridiculous, pathetic, petulant nonsense that we keep hearing from a section of the fan base. We won 4-1 against Wolves, guys. 4-1. Wolves do not get slapped up often this season, right? I'm telling you right now. They've been beaten comfortably a couple of times, but they don't get slapped up. Man United have a makeshift defense. And the whole thing was, right, is that when we won the game, number one, it was they didn't bring on Shea Lacey, and everyone is an expert on Shea Lacey now, right? Everyone's an expert on Shea Lacey. Right? They haven't even watched Shea Lacey play, probably, but they're throwing that old chestnut at Ruben Amorim and saying, I'm hitting him with that stick. Number two, they're saying we conceded a goal against Wolves. No one should concede a goal against Wolves. It should be nobody should concede a goal against Wolves. Like, Wolves are never going to score again. Wolves will score against City. They'll score against Arsenal. Then what? Teams score goals. The ball is round. The ball can go anywhere. It can happen, especially if you've got a makeshift defense. This is the Premier League, guys. It's not the Finnish league. You know what I mean? This is what we're talking. No disrespect to the Finnish league. Of course, FC Häcken, big up. Guys, so at the end of the day, this is what I'm talking about, guys. Like, you know, we've got a section of the fan base, Mandem Millions, who basically will not accept any win for Man United because their narrative is anti-Amorim. Right? Their narrative is anti-Amorim. That is what it is at the end of the day. Now, look, again, I clarify and I reiterate because I know I have to repeat myself. I'm not either Amorim in, I'm neither Amorim out, and Manchester United in. What I will do, I'll call the weakness out for Amorim. I'll call the strengths out for Amorim. I will give him a chance in regards to what I'm looking at the moment. And the facts are facts. The facts are facts. First in missed chances. Third in big chances created. First to third in every single major stat attacking-wise in the Premier League. Yes, our defense is not as good as it should be. But maybe, just maybe, if Ruben Amorim was back to a level that he should have been back, maybe then we might be challenging up there, even further up the table. You know what I mean? And right now, we're 1 point from fourth. Guys, come on. I cannot fathom how anyone could, you know, just carry on with this narrative and this notion. If we beat Bournemouth And it's a big if. Of course, I know that Bournemouth are going to come out there. They're going to do their stifling business. They're going to play the low block. Man United struggling against low block. But if Man United manage to overcome Bournemouth, and then you're looking at the fact that 10 games going on, right? You're looking at 7 wins. Is it like that? I don't know, guys. I really don't know. Tyrell, what's going on, my friend? Big up, Tyrell Gunner. Hope you're blessed, my guy. Hope you're well. Not all of you're all right, Sal. We don't need them vans. Absolutely. Not all you're right, Sal. Absolutely. We don't need them. Absolutely, mate. What's up, Alex Wonga? How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Well played, my friend. Good to see you. Guys, absolutely. Big up, Donin. What's going on? Best way to get an answer in January is by paying 100 million and at worst loan back until the end of the season. Some clubs, right? I mean, I agree, Donin. I mean, whatever's going to help us get that player, because I believe that player is an absolutely phenomenal player, Donin. And I think that Man United should fight tooth and nail to get this player. If we miss out on Man City, we're just improving Man City. If Man United are serious about getting Elliot Anderson into the football club, you know, they would do anything in their power to get Elliot Anderson in the football club. However, in regards to the 100 million, Man United will not pay 100 million and send him back to Nottingham Forest, because if he gets injured at Nottingham Forest, they wasted 100 million. And that's what happens, of course, guys. But Man United can do something in regards to a gentleman's agreement, an agreement with the football club, a down deposit, something like that. Do you know what I mean? That's something of that ilk. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Big up, Jarle. What's going on? Alonso is playing the Real Madrid way instead of his own way. I agree. And this is the problem. You always have to stick to your philosophy as a manager. If the manager doesn't suit the football club, then the manager shouldn't be at the football club. But what you do when you bring in a manager with a distinctive style of play, you back that manager. And that's what you do. Absolutely, Jarle. Alex, if they sat Alonso, who do you think will take over? I don't know. Arnie Slot? I don't know, mate. Raul, probably. I think Raul will go in there as a temporary basis to the end of the season, probably something like that. I wouldn't put it past Zidane coming back at the end of the season. I wouldn't put it past that. But I think Raul, who is obviously a Real Madrid legend in regards to, was Real Madrid's top scorer in the Champions League for many, many years. Absolutely. Alex, but what if he's down tooling based on not being able to leave the club that he's out? And it doesn't matter, Alex Wong. If you're down tooling based on not being able to leave the club, it's a professional. If he down tools not being able to leave Man United, how would you think? You'll think exactly the same. What an idiot! What an arsehole, wouldn't you? You know, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter about whether that, you know, it doesn't matter if he's down tooling by purpose. And I ain't clarified on this, by the way. I don't know. But if he's down tooling on purpose, then he's not the guy for Man United. It's as simple as that. You have to look at things maturely, not based on, oh, he's my favorite player. We have to look at things maturely. If he's down tooling based on, you know what, purposely, if he's down tooling based on bad performances, that happens in football, that's fine. It's bad performance, he might pick it up. But if he's down tooling by purpose, no, don't want him. And that's as simple as that. Don't want him. We don't want a Sancho situation. Are we mad? No, it doesn't matter. You wanted to leave Brighton. You should have said so in the summer and said, I want to leave Brighton now and leave. He didn't do that. He committed his future. He committed it. He committed himself. So if you want to commit yourself, that's you, innit? Then play for your football team. Show us. You don't think Elliot Anderson wants to leave Nottingham Forest? Elliot Anderson gave a stellar performance against Man United. He knows Man United want him. You don't think he wants to come to Man United? Of course he does. You know, you don't think he wants to go to Man City? Of course he does. But he performs. Adam Wharton performs. Mark Gui had the shirt up with Liverpool about here we go to Liverpool. What did he do? Performs for Crystal Palace. And that's what it is. You perform and then your move will come. Professionalism is top. If you're down tool, you're not the guy. And if you think he's the guy, you don't understand Man United. People took their life for this club. You do not understand Man United. Man United don't just sign players just for the sake of signing players. We're looking at personality. And that is exactly what Alex Ferguson used to do. Jamie, good morning all. Join later, going back to the start. Have a good day, ladies and gents. Big up, Jamie. Hope you're well, my friend. Big up yourself. Guys, what happens if I could get Stiller, Anderson, and Baleba? Man United won't do that, mate. Absolutely not. Man United won't get all three, mate. It won't happen. Man United need a lot more. They need wing backs as well. And another striker. Are we going to get any money from Sal's in January? Or are we going to? It's going at the moment. Mainu looks like the most likely proposition in regards to money in January. Man United are going to get a lot of their money in the summer, of course, with Rasmus Højlund and other players who are going to get money from other players as well, of course, guys. Jadon Sancho's leaving on the free, so we're going to save money on the wages, which is good. So yeah, look, and it obviously is still up in the air in regards to Harry Maguire, whether he's going to sign a new contract, Casemiro, whether he's going to sign a new contract. So in the summer, yes, I know that Man United are going to be getting some money in. However, in January, it will just be Kobbie Mainoo. He's the only one who I feel that, you know what, we could possibly sell for a bit of money. Spot on, Sal. Some of our fans treating Dorgu is a shame. Give him a chance. Absolutely. Saviour. Midfield and right wing back, the problem at Man United when we improve on those positions, we'll compete for league. Big up, Saviour. And thank you so much, Dean, you absolute legend, for your super chat. I really appreciate you, my guy. You're absolute legend. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for supporting me. People like Dean Conte, guys, they keep the channel running. They keep the channel thriving and progressing, and I really appreciate every single one is supporting the channel in whatever capacity. I appreciate your donation. Thank you so much, my guy. I got some huge things coming on this channel very, very soon, guys. You will see it, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic. And you know what, Dean, you're going to be at the forefront of it. Thank you so much for your generosity, and thank you for supporting the channel. You're absolute legend. Thank you, mate. Absolutely. Baleba is a passionate to play for us, and that will drive his motivation to get back to form. And that is a good comment from Dean. Now, if Baleba gets back to form, I will say, let's go and get him, mate. Let's go and get Carlos Baleba. Let's do it. If he's down tooling by purpose, that is the key for me. Do you really want that? Do you want that? You know, no. But if it is indeed just form and his form elevates, I watched him against West Ham on the weekend. I didn't think he was that bad. I didn't think it was fantastic, but I thought, you know, it's steady. If he's performed and he gets to anywhere near the form that he got last season, I say, yeah, get him. Because obviously motivation is a part of it. Of course it is. Wanting to play for Man United is part of it. Of course it is. But it's just a part of it. We have to understand, we have to look at the professional side of things as well. And we have to look at Brighton and Hove Albion gave Carlos Baleba an opportunity in the Premier League. Right? He could have ended up anywhere in Europe. He went to the Premier League, the best league in the world. And Brighton and Hove Albion gave him that platform. You always respect your employees. Always respect your employees. Never turn on the hand that feeds you. Right? And that's what it is at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, that is how it is. And it should be. Thank you so much, Maz. Big up yourself. Big up yourself. Much, you're a legend as well, mate. Yale, there is guesswork when it comes to United. You have to report to say that they're not buying anyone. Then you have to next report saying we are going for someone. I guess we just have to wait and see. Well, I don't talk shit, Jale. That's one thing that doesn't happen with me. I'm not Indy Kayla, mate. I do speak on what Man United are interested in. And if I say that Man United are interested in them, they're interested in them. If you haven't watched a Stretford Post for a long time, I called Senny Lamens before anyone called Senny Lamens. If you haven't watched Stretford Post for a long time, I called him Buemo, respectively and humbly, before anyone called him Buemo. Right? So when you say those things, Yale, make sure you clarify who. Don't just say it like, you know what, talking as a whole, because it's disrespectful to Stretford Post, if you know what I mean. So make sure you clarify who you mean, because when I talk, I've generally been right. I've called transfers out. I've actually had people message me, Sal, where'd you get your information from? You know? So at the end of the day, make sure you clarify who you're talking about, Yale. That's how you do it, yeah? Don't just say, we wait and see. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day, because there's all this and that and that. You know what I mean? Come on the channel. Good morning, Sal. How's it going, Sal? How you doing? You know what I mean? Otherwise, I won't read your comments, mate. Thank you, though. Big up, David. How you doing? Morning, Sal. Being a United fan since the 70s and ups and downs. We will get there a bit by a bit. Absolutely. Big up, David. My friend, David Sumner, of course. Big respect to the fans that have been supporting Man United for 50, 60 years. Some of them, my good friends have been supporting Man United for 60 years. You know, I've seen the likes of George Best and Dennis Law and Duncan. Some of them have seen Duncan Edwards. Right? My good friend, of course. He's very old now. He's 88, something like that. But yeah, look, one of my friends here has been a supporter for 60 years, and he's just like you, David. Absolutely. He's just like you. Of course, selling Mainoo, why and what basis, mate? What basis is selling Mainu apart from Bruno? Maybe Bruno has professionalism and Mainu doesn't, because what I've heard is completely different. LT, big up Sal, big up LT. We've only lost 1 in 10, and our attacking metrics are of a forward side. Yet for some fans, still have debates on if we've improved. I've proven that we've improved, and people don't want to listen to it at the end of the day. When I talk about, guys, I'm going to say it again, when I look at the statistics of Man United, goals scored, we're third behind Man City and Arsenal. XG generated, we're second. Total shots per game, we're first. Shots on target per game, we're first. Big chances created, we're third. And big missed chances, we're first. What does that tell you? Is that not improvement? Exactly, LT. Is that not improvement? And that's just a few stats that I'm saying. That we're generally at the top 3 in everything. You know what I mean? Guys. So yeah, it's crazy, LT. I agree with you, mate. People just want to see the world burn, and they want Ruben Amorim out, but they don't want to look at anything else. You know what I mean? Donnin, of course, there will be an injury clause in the contract, but it's not going to happen, Donnin. Realistically, it's not going to happen, mate. That doesn't how it works, mate. Sorry, Donnin. Benny, look at all the speculation around Wharton and Anderson and still do their biz every week. Look at the speculation around what exactly there, Benny. Fact of the day. Fact of the day. At the end of the day, let me tell you about Kobe Mainoo, for example. Kobe Mainoo comes on the pitch. Has he changed the game? Whenever he's come on the pitch so far this season, has he made a difference? No. In fact, he's done the opposite. It's been worse, right? So when you come on the pitch against Man United, you make sure you do something to clarify why you should be in that team ahead of anyone else. And that's what I would say about it. But absolutely right. Wharton, Anderson, they all do their job. Mark Gui, signed for Liverpool. There was a here we go. And look at Gui scored at the weekend. Brilliant. Performing every single week for Crystal Palace. At the end of the day, he could have got double pay at Liverpool. Of course, he should have been getting double pay right now. But it was Crystal Palace who kept him at the club because they couldn't replace him. But they dragged him back and said, no, you can't go. Need you now. Did he cry about it? Did he down tool about it? Did he do anything like that? Absolutely he didn't, did he? He didn't do that, did he? So, guys. Mornings, Benny. Big up, my friend. All slept in the morning. My wife dragged me around over shopping. Belfast yesterday, shopping. Tired this morning. Big up, Benny. I hope you had a good shop, my friend. And I hope my present is in the post. I'm joking, mate. Big up yourself. Big up, Benny. Of course. You are my present, Donnin, in reference to Baleba, yes, Sal, Ineos will only buy at the right age group and good judge character. And yeah, this is something that they're looking at, Donnin. This is something that Sir Alex Ferguson used to do potently back in the day that people don't understand. People think you just, successful teams just buy players based on talent. It's not just about talent. Talent is one thing. It's about everything. It's about a package. It's about implementation. It's about attitude. It's about personality, character, what you do on the outside of football. What's your life like? Do you go out there and do you pop there and buy Kentucky Fried Chicken or KFC? Same thing. Or Burger King or McDonald's? Or do you go out there and live well and look after yourself? Everything in regards to any signing that you do, that should be put into the equation. That is what should be, looked at in an objective kind of way. I'm sure Man United do the homework on Anderson. They'll do the homework on the Wharton, outside of football, inside of football, what they like, personality-wise. Are they a bit of a prat? This and that. They'll do the same thing. What do they eat? They do the same thing, Is there any truth in there's a couple of teams that are interested in Ugarte a 40 million euro deal, yes. But whether he goes or not is another story. There could be links to him, but it doesn't mean that they make the move, of course. LT, we finally show improvement from a traumatic season, and when we are looking at games, we should be in the truth further up the table than we are. Yet the narrative is league is shit. That's the narrative. Let them spread the narrative. Look, at the end of the day, they're going to find any excuse. As I said only a couple of days ago, I believe that Ruben Amorim can win 10 games in a row. They'll still find a way to attack Ruben Amorim. They'll still find that way. It's petulant little children. They shouldn't have platforms. They shouldn't, because they're not looking at things from an objective factual point of view. They're looking at things from, oh, last season he did this. He did this last season. I mean, I don't want a few seasons. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. But I'm not going to talk about Sir Alex Ferguson's first few seasons. I'm going to talk about what he achieved at Man United, isn't it? And that's exactly what you do. You base it on now. What's going on now? Man United are progressing. Man United scoring goals. Man United are third in goal scoring. We're scoring goals. What's been our biggest problem over the last couple of years? Scoring goals. Why are we conceding goals? We're conceding goals because we have injuries. We have an inconsistency in our back three. We don't have the defenders that Ruben Amorim wants. That's pretty evident. That's why he keeps changing it. He doesn't know his back three yet, right? At the moment, right? None of these, by the way, are Ruben Amorim's players. And that's one thing that we have to remember. None of these are Ruben Amorim's players. None of these are Ruben Amorim guys. You know? So at the end of the day, obviously Ruben Amorim's going to say, I'm not feeling him, put him there, not feeling him. He's like that and this and that. Because he's trying to juggle what he feels is his best team because none of them are his. Now, if he was given the money and the tools and the facilities to buy the players he needs for his system, including the defense, the wingbacks, the midfield, the strikers, I'm pretty sure you'll see a very, very, very strong Manchester United right now. Like at the end of the day, at this current stage, we're still we're still up there, guys. 1 point from fourth. You know, at the end of the day, guys. Yeah, just clarify, Yare. Big up, clarify, Yare. When you say that, clarify because it does put into question, obviously, me and everything else. Because you know what, I just like to wait and see and stuff like that. You know, if you know what I mean. Big respect, Yale. No worries. Third in everything stats wise, and only top three, yeah, and first in some. As 4 of his own players, 1 or 2 have been injured. Absolutely. 1 or 2 has been injured for a length of time. Cunha and Sesko, back to Amorim. He's working miracles. Exactly, man. Big up everyone, by the way. Big up Yale. Big up everyone in the stream, guys. I really appreciate you all. Thank you so much, guys. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to smash a like on the video. And guys, whenever I'm live, I will put a message on if I'm live on YouTube. Make sure you keep your notifications on so you know where I am live, guys, because I might be live whether I'm on Mo's channel, Hussam's channel, wherever I am, guys. I will be live today, guys. So fighting Man United with chest is what I do. It's my second job, guys, at the end of the day. But, guys, everything, respect as usual. Respect as usual. We end the stream and we say respect and we say thank you. Because at the end of the day, you guys are the life and soul of this channel. And I'll say that right now. And I will always respect every single one. May not agree, you know, and stuff like that. We don't have to. That's not life. This is not this democracy at the end of the day. But, guys, thank you again. I will see you later on today by hook or by crook. Have a great day. Have a great day, Yale. Have a great day, Benny. Big up yourself. Have a great day. And let me just read LT's comment. Amorim knows he doesn't have a squad good enough to implement his style of football, and he's hinted and that he just wants to reach Europe so he can get better players to better perform consistently. Absolutely, LT. And he's still playing his formation, by the way. Still his tactics. He's still doing it, and he's doing well. Thank you, guys. You absolute legends. Love you all. Take it easy. See you later. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn. See you soon. Peace.